Good afternoon and welcome to Bago News' final episode of 2017. Our lead story is the top 3 news stories of 2017. It has certainly been a year of extremes. Here's Bago News' top 3. Number 3. It has been a year of extreme weather, from wildfires to hurricanes and everything in between. All over the U.S., there are more than 110 large fires burning through almost 2 million acres of land, including more than 80 wildfires in the western part of the country. These fires are making it hard to breathe all over the Pacific Northwest. This hurricane season has been incredibly active with a number of severe storms. First, Hurricane Harvey barreled into Texas, dumping record rains and causing unprecedented floods in cities like Houston. Then Hurricane Katia struck the east coast of Mexico, and Hurricane Irma, a Category 5 hurricane, one of the strongest storms ever recorded in the Atlantic, wreaked havoc on the Caribbean. Irma smashed a bunch of other records. Another hurricane called Jose followed Irma.
2017 has been the year of extreme sexual harassment allegations, although this has been going on for decades. However, 2017 seems to be the tipping point, leading to Time magazine's declaring the Me Too Silence Busters as their Person of the Year. According to CNN, it's only been a few months since the sexual assault allegations against media mogul Harvey Weinstein exploded into public view. Since then, there have been new allegations made almost daily against other powerful men in various industries, seemingly almost every day. The list includes, but are not limited to, Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, James Toback, Ben Affleck, George H.W. Bush, Chris Savino, Roy Price, Mark Halperin, Michael Orsekes, Lockhart Steele, Alabama senatorial candidate Roy Moore, Matt Lauer, Senator Al Franken, Representative John Conyers, former San Diego Mayor Bob Filner, and we cannot forget the 13 ongoing accusations against President Trump.
Another year of extreme violence, from the Las Vegas shooting that would leave 52 dead and hundreds injured, to the Texas church shooting that would leave 26 men, women, and children dead. Authorities have yet to understand any real motive for these tragic incidents. Those are just some of the extremes we've seen in 2017. Now on to happier news. Winnebago Public Schools celebrate Veterans Day like no other. Here's Kylia reporting.
Thanks, Jocelyn. On November 10th, the Winnebago Public Schools celebrated Veterans Day with a native flair. The people in our community and from the school that served in the military carried in the colors followed by the Winnebago flag song. They had multiple special music performances from Whitney Carnahan and Darla K. McGee. They also announced the winners of the Faces of Freedom. The Faces of Freedom are students, teachers, and even the whole classroom that write a veteran's poetry, essay, or poster. After that, they played the 4 service songs, which are Air Force, Army, Navy, and the Marines. Before they ended the event, they had a guest speaker named Emmett McGee. During the closing of the event, the Winnebago Public School Band performed a service medley.
Thank you, Kylia, for that report, and a very special thank you to those who arranged the event, and of course all of the men and women who have served in the military. Last week, the elementary students got a visit from a special guest who reminded them of the importance of eating healthy.
Don Blake, also known as Super Appleman, visits schools across South Dakota and Nebraska, sharing his ideas of positivity, health education, and the banana dance. Suited up with his red cape and sunglasses, Super Appleman led Winnebago elementary students last Thursday through song and dance, sharing fun facts about healthy foods and reasons to stay positive and happy. The One Act team wrapped up their season on November 30th. Their performance of the One Act Alice was well received by spectators and judges. They received 6th place in the Lewis and Clark Conference contest and had a 3-way tie for 4th in the district meet. Here's Dania reporting.
Welcome to our beautiful Fine Arts Theater. This is where the action takes place. This year's One Act play, as you can see from the set, is Alice, a shortened non-musical version of Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland.
Overall, I'm really excited about this year. I was a little nervous actually going into the year, not knowing if I would have the talent to pull off this particular show. I've got a group of really awesome seniors that are, finishing up their high school careers, and I was quite concerned that I'd have younger underclassmen coming up, and we have a number of really excellent young actors and actresses coming up through the ranks. All in all, I'm really excited about the way the year's gone. We've got some great comments and feedback from the judges so far, and I really see very bright things for these young actors and actresses in their future.
The library hosted a book fair in November, and by all accounts, it was a huge success. Here's Joe Decora with the story.
The book fair started November 7th. Librarian Jennifer Malik said it was a good showing and that each student from grades K through 12 was encouraged to go. As students went there were more things to get than just books. There was also posters, erasers, bookmarks, and the most liked item was the spy pen. With all those and books that were sold, the book fair met its goal and made $3,000. All in all, it was a successful book fair and will return sometime in the spring.
Uranium One. Not many know about it, but those who do don't completely know the truth. Many Republicans use this topic as something to prove the fraudulence of Hillary Clinton. Many of the people who do know a little bit about the topic would like Clinton to be investigated. Attorney General Jeff Sessions says he needs a factual basis to appoint a special counsel to investigate Hillary Clinton. One has not yet been appointed, though Attorney General Sessions says he has asked federal prosecutors to evaluate issues presented by House Republicans, including Uranium One. Here's the exchange between Jeff Sessions and Republican Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio.
What's it going to take to actually get a special counsel?
And we will use the proper standards, and that's only thing I can tell you, Mr. Jordan.
Well, I appreciate
you can
that.
have your idea, but sometime we have to study what the facts are and to evaluate whether it meets the standard.
Well said.
that
So let me ask you
requires
this. If in fact,
a special counsel.
well, we know.
So what are the facts? What is Uranium One? Uranium One is the name of a South African-based mining company. Back in 2007, it merged with Eurasia Energy, based in Canada. And in 2010, the mining arm of the Russian nuclear agency, Rosatom, bought controlling interest in the company. Among other places, that mining company had operations in Wyoming that amounted to what the Nuclear Regulatory Commissions, or the NRC, said at the time was 20% of uranium production capacity in the U.S. Today, the NRC says it's about 10%. Now, here's the accusation. 9 people involved in the deal made donations to the Clinton Foundation totaling to more than $140 million. In exchange, the Secretary of State, Clinton, approved the sale to the Russians. The accusation was first made by Peter Schweitzer, the senior editor-at-large of the website Breitbart, in his 2015 book Clinton Cash. The next year, candidate Donald Trump cited the accusation as an example of Clinton corruption.
Hillary Clinton's State Department approved the transfer of 20% of America's uranium holdings to Russia, while 9 investors in the deal funneled $145 million to the Clinton Foundation. $145 million.
That statement is inaccurate in a number of ways. First, the Clinton State Department had no power to veto or approve that transaction. It could do neither. Here's how it does work. By law, when a foreign company wants to buy something with potential national security implication, an interagency committee of the federal government must approve it. The committee was given a broad mandate under President Reagan to advise the president on foreign investment transactions. That committee is called CIFIS, or the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. It includes the 9 department heads. The Secretary of Treasury is the chairperson. The rest are heads of the Departments of Justice, Homeland Security, Commerce, Defense, State, and Energy, plus the Office of U.S. Trade Representative and the Office of Science and Technology Policy. That's CIFIS. The 9 department heads all approved the sale of Uranium One. It was unanimous, not a Hillary Clinton approval. We don't know definitely whether Secretary Clinton participated at all directly. The then Assistant Secretary of State, Jose Fernando, represented state on CIFIS. He says that his secretary never intervened. Further, neither Secretary Clinton nor the committee as a whole could stop any deal of this kind. The committee members evaluate a sale of any potentially related to national security. By law, if one member objects, the president and only the president can veto such a transaction. No committee member of the 9 objected. Federal approvals were also needed. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission approved the sale on November of the 24th of 2010, and in doing so stipulated that no uranium produced may be exported. So where does the uranium go? Well, the Energy Information Administration, or EIA, reports that unless special permission is granted by the Department of Energy or other governmental agencies, Uranium One sells the energy that it mines in the United States to civilian power reactors in the U.S. But operators of those reactors have many other sources for their uranium. Last year, 89% of uranium used by power plants in the U.S. came from foreign producers, according to EIA. Regarding the donations to the Clinton Foundation, again, the accusation is that Hillary Clinton's State Department approved the transfer of 20% of Americans' uranium holdings to Russia, while 9 investors in the deal funneled $145 million to Clinton Foundation. Here, the timing is inaccurate. Most of those donations were made from one man, Frank Guastra, the founder of the company in Canada. He gave $131 million to the Clinton Foundation. But Guastra says he sold his stake in the company back in 2007. That's 3 years before the uranium Russia deal and a year and a half before Clinton became Secretary of State. We can't independently verify his statement, but if true, the donation to the Clinton Foundation from confirmed Uranium One investors drops from more than $145 million to $14 million. The Clinton Foundation did not disclose that donation. After a New York Times story exposed them, the foundation reported it made mistakes. They say it disclosed donations from a Canadian charity, but it did not specify the names of the donors to that charity who had associations with Uranium One. Even so, the accusation is predicated on the charge that Secretary Clinton approved the sale. She did not. A committee of 9 evaluated the sale. The president approved the sale. The Nuclear Regulatory Committee had to offer permits, and none of the uranium was exported for use by the U.S. to Russia. That's Uranium One.
On Wednesday, November 15th, 2017, there was a shooting in Rancho Tehama, California. Kevin Neal, age 44, killed 5 people and injured 12 at several locations in Northern California County. Starting roughly around 8 a.m., officials say he killed his wife the night before the shooting. Police found her body under the floor of their home, and police say that's probably what caused the event, but there is no exact motive to what he did, why he did it. Neal is out on bail in assault with a deadly weapon charge from January. He killed his neighbor who has a restraining order against him before targeting random people in town. Police say Neal tried to enter Rancho Tehama Elementary School. The school went into lockdown before he arrived. He rammed the school's fence and fired rounds through the windows and the walls outside. If the school hadn't taken action to the lockdown, there would have been a horrific loss in that school. A semi-automatic rifle and 2 handguns were recovered. Officials say that these firearms were manufactured illegally by him at his home. So they, meaning the guns, were obtained in an illegal manner, not through the illegal process.
It's a holiday season, and the big question seems to be, what do you want for Christmas this year? Rosie Grant and Eva Appleton are out in the field asking just that.
So, everybody knows that Christmas time is where you get presents and hang out with your family. But today we're going to ask students what they want for Christmas. Helene, what would you like for Christmas?
Let's see, I'd like an Xbox One for Christmas with a couple of Xbox One games, and I'd probably like an iPhone 7.
Oh, this is Kiana Lewis. What do you want for Christmas?
New shoes.
Meow, meow, meow. This is Shaylee Carnes. What would you like for Christmas?
I want a cheeseburger.
This is the counselor, Janelle Decora. What would you like for Christmas?
I would like a Apple Watch.
Oh. This is Justice. What would you like for Christmas?
Some brand new pair of G Phasals.
Oh. Alright, good, thanks. This is Nurse Julie. What would you like for Christmas?
I would like some plastic pink flamingos. That's what I want. I love flamingos. That's all.
Oh.
I had the time of my life.
And I never felt this way before. Are you looking for a quick and easy Christmas cookie recipe? Here's Daniel's Diner.
What are they cooking up now? What's cooking?
Today we will be making sugar cookies. For the ingredients you will need is 2 3/4 cups of white flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 cup of butter softened, like that. Then you will also need 1 cup of sugar. And you will also need 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Alright. Looks kind of neat. And then you just mix it with whatever you want to use. And there's your cookie dough. Hey, welcome back to the Christmas edition of Daniel's Diner. Today we will be making sugar cookies. I already made the dough, so in the next clip I'll show you how to make that. After the dough is made, and the oven is preheated to 375, you can just grab a regular spoon and like get a little piece of the dough, roll it in a ball, put it on an ungreased cookie sheet, and just keep doing that until all your dough is gone. Alright, put the cookies into the oven at 375 and bake for 8 to 10 minutes or until golden brown. We will be making our own icing to ice our cookies. You'll just need powdered sugar, milk, and vanilla, and food coloring if you want to color your frosting. You'll need like a cup of sugar, powdered sugar. I want to get out. Grab the cookies you made and then just get some frosting that you made, or icing, and then just put it on the cookie. It's Friday! And there you go. Sugar cookies.
With that, our broadcast will come to an end. It's certainly been an eventful year.
From all of us here at Bago News, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Don't forget, school resumes on January 4th.